Is that depression? The rhinoceros of depression? Maybe if I think of depression as a rhinoceros, I won't resent it so much. Hello there, humans. My name is Comedian, and it haunts me at night. Now, carrying on the BTS train, the hype train, the clout train, choo-woo, and reacting to another song off the brand new BTS album, B, which is almost like they saw the album Let It Be by Beatles, and we were like, we can make that more witty, and you know, they say brevity is the soul of wit. They're like, we can make that more succinct. You don't need to let it. That's just a useless qualifier, and you know, you can get a lot more done in two letters and one syllable. Which I wish you know, the whole concept of, you know, being quick and subtle and understated really had rubbed off on me, because I speak far too much and say far too little. But anyway, so yes, this is track 3 off the brand new album. I hope you guys have been enjoying my reactions to it so far, and if you haven't seen them yet, then whoa, what are you doing? You can go and check them out right now on my channel, of course. But today is time to react to Blue and Grey, which is quite an evocative sounding name. And I noticed they also spelt it in the English way, because I think in America it would be spelled with an A, which is, you know, fascinating to only me. But, you know, I respect that. But regardless, apart from that silly stuff, Blue and Grey is quite an evocative title. I mean, it really does sound maybe like the duality between, you know, feeling happy and positive and feeling bleak. Or maybe, you know, because sometimes blue can be like blue skies, sunshine, you know, positive things. Sometimes blue can be like the blues, being blue, being depressed AF. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe this is literally the duality between being depressed and being neutral, which is probably sums up my life and my breakfast cereals. But anyway, before I talk even more nonsense, or in order for me to talk more nonsense perhaps, let us start this song. Oh yeah, and don't forget to subscribe, and I have a Patreon in the description for Run BTS reactions, and subscribe, really, and just please subscribe. Oh, and right, I forgot, like, but really subscribe. Okay, let's go. Ooh, is the whole song gonna be this pretty and warm? It is warm. It looks like we have all the chaps on here. I can count to 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's all the boys. Ready and waiting. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but V has a really lovely voice. Wow. Just one breath of an exhausted day. Wow. Can you look at me, 'cause I'm blue, gray, cold every chin. Wow, this is heavy. This is heavy. I can feel the personality change coming along. I can feel the comedian, the jokes are being replaced by comedian, the manic depressive. People must all be happy. Now, I like this here. Obviously, you know, it's a translation, so I'll try and take from it what I can. People must all be happy. The word must is very, very interesting here, because there's two ways of taking that, which is people must be happy, as in like our society says we must be happy. And I've talked about this before in other videos, but I feel like a big part of, you know, just fitting in, or just, you know, it's like, obviously sometimes you want to be yourself and true to yourself all the time, but sometimes being true to yourself all the time is exhausting, and it's also alienating and isolating, because if you walk around like literally showing everyone how depressed and empty you feel, then no one's going to want to be around you. So sometimes you kind of go through the motions and just pretend to be a human, and just pretend when you laugh at stuff that you actually felt something, and not just that your brain was like, yes, I identified, I've done 2 + 2 with those jokes you gave me. So two dogs plus 2 walking into bars equals funny. Ha 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 ha, my friend, I like the joke. You know, like there's very much a part of that, and part of me at least, where at times I just kind of have to just go along with emotions, because I don't want to, and also don't want to depress other people, you know, don't want to isolate people. There's a lot of reasons. Routine, there's many reasons, but that's what, you know, that's one meaning of the word must. And the other meaning of the word must is the idea of like thinking like, well, people must be happy, you know, like sometimes the most depressing or isolating thing when you feel a certain way is thinking that everyone else is happy when you aren't, which isn't necessarily true, because of the reasons I just explained. A lot of times other people are just going through the motions too. You could have a whole party, a whole group of people, friends hanging out, pretending to be happy. Oh yes, smiling, I enjoy smiling, oh yes, and backslapping, oh what fun we're having. The meaning of the tears reflected by the mirror, my colors hidden by laughter. Okay, I really feel like without even realizing it, or maybe just preempting them, I think maybe I am tapping into what they're getting at. My colors hidden by laughter, blue and gray. The meaning of the tears, like this does seem to hint at the idea of hiding the way you're feeling, you know? Blue question mark. I'm guessing obviously it's blue because they're using blue, as I summarized and theorized earlier. They're using blue as a metaphor for, you know, blue being depressed, being blue being down. But when I read blue question mark, as you know, a member of the computer generation, I am thinking blue check mark. So inside my head, it was a blue check mark, and I was like, oh, so inside your head, you were always going to be Twitter famous? No, a blue question mark, as in, you know, WTF is this life? I can relate to that too. Live so intensely. I want to know your life story. Has he made a book? You know, maybe his own version of Roald Dahl's Boy. I want to know what Sugar got up to do was so intense, because to me, he is only intense in the fact that he is completely inscrutable. He is intensely inscrutable, inscrutably intense. I want to know what living life intense like was for him. Like, maybe Sugar was actually a party animal. I could believe it. Sometimes the biggest party animals are the ones who end up the most straight-faced, for they have burnt out all of their dopamine and serotonin. Oh, this is fantastic. There's a rising guitar in the background that's deliberately, I think, processed, kind of like quite harshly over-processed. Maybe it's compressed many times, mate. But there's a rising guitar strum in the background that I actually thought it gave a powerful sense of dread, as Superhands would say, and it is a very powerful piece of music. Because it sounds like a plane going overhead. It just sounds unnerving. That is musically perfect. Like, I feel like I don't give enough attention to their music sometimes because I guess I'm more of a lyrics person, but that is fantastic because I really was suddenly like, what is that noise? Is there a plane overhead? Is there a helicopter? There's always helicopters going over my building. That is really fantastic. This rising strum here. And in this here, is it uneasiness or is it depression? Or why not both? Because I think so often, you know, it's hard to know what depression is, or just, like I say, you said, a sense of unease, because you just realize, like, when was the last time I sat down and felt truly cozy? Like, I sat down and felt truly at peace with the world. And it's all part of the same cloth. It's all a corn on the great kernel. Gonna find an exit. There's sort of like, just cautiously, not even upbeat, just determined, like, you know, I have to find a way out of this mindset. Melt the cold me. I like that. I like that a lot. I know it's a translation, but melt the cold me is very cool, but I'm also hearing that as like cold ones. Like, I'll stick a couple of cold me's in the fridge. Like, why? I don't want to cold you. Gross. My hands have been endlessly held out. That's how I feel. Holding my hands out like, somebody make me feel different. Jimin wearing a little headdress, which is very cute. I'm so in love with the way they sing about mental health, because obviously mental health is becoming more of a common topic in the public psyche, or, you know, we are, you know, finally, thank goodness, finally beginning to actually talk about it slightly like it's normal, thank God. You know, obviously it's still got a long ways to go, especially, and it's only in certain cultures too, but there is a lot of progress being made. But you know, arguably a lot of the way other artists sing about mental health, if it does come up, and it's still great and everything, it's nowhere near as deep as this. Like, I'm not trying to say they're the only ones doing this, but you have to respect us, considering how huge they are, the way they sing about mental health. Like, it's just so important. It's so important. It's so critical. Like, I have, you know, this feeling like, hello, thanks for putting this in words. I want to be happy. Am I being greedy? Like, yes, I've had that feeling. Like, you know, is it just I'm just not satisfied? Is it that, you know, everyone else feels the same way and I'm just, you know, never happy enough? I want to be ecstatic all the time. The answer is no. I just want to feel something. some of the time, and that's not much to ask for. And even if you want to be ecstatic all the time, that's also not much to ask for. Everyone should be entitled to chase whatever kind of happiness they want, and it isn't greed. Some would say the only meaning in life is happiness. I love this. I don't like this. As I said, I don't like the fact that it's basically like Comic Sans, and they also put a classic Windows 95 like color melt on it. Don't like that. Like the lyrics though. The sound of the breath of a quick heart. Is it yours or is it someone else's? This is also fantastic. Don't tell me that it's okay, since it's not okay. Yes, that's brilliant, and it's applicable in so many instances because, so many times like people, and they mean well, but they'll try and kind of reassure you like, oh, you'll be fine. It's like, well, it doesn't mean anything, especially if you're not trying to relate properly. Like, mental health is so completely individual that even if you have your own like depressive issues or anxiety issues, and somebody tells you their issues, you can try and use your understanding of it and your experiences to try and relate to them, but you absolutely cannot assume that you know what's going on in their head. And that's something that I've had to learn the hard way growing up, basically, because everyone, like I said, everyone's experience is so different that it's fine to try and relate. But if you just pretend, if you insist to yourself, oh, I know exactly what they're going through, then it's like, well, that's insanity, because people's minds are so insanely different. The fact is, like, people who are unfortunately like have quite crippling mental health issues, and they are in asylums or something because their version of reality is just so twisted. They're not there thinking to themselves like, oh my goodness, like, this is crazy, like what's happening. Like, in their head, that's their reality. And reality itself is almost like a strange spectrum. We all have different ways of interpreting reality. If you think about it, even just scientifically speaking, our eyesight, the ways we actually interact with the world, our eyesight, our hearing, our sense of touch, they are literally represent fractions, like little drops, little tiny micro drops of water in the ocean that is actual reality. And it's very hard to kind of conceptualize, but the point is that the reality is really such an individual thing, and the way we experience the world is so individual. The way our brain chemistry and our brain makeup happens is so individual. So, at its core, this is such a fantastic lyric. Don't tell me it's okay, since it's not okay. Like, you can never understand what somebody else is going through. You can try and listen, you can try and empathize, but you can never fully understand, which is why it's never good to tell somebody you'll be fine, or like, and I guess it will get better is a nice and positive sentiment. I'm not trying to like dunk on that one. I still agree with that sentiment, or I agree with the idea of that sentiment. But just, telling somebody dealing in an absolute, like, it will be okay, is just a complete waste man material. It's a waste of time, and it isn't helpful. It doesn't help anyone. This is very, very, very powerful stuff. Very deep. Love this. Love this for me. I love that for me. OMG. The path always walked, the light always seen. So it's the same. You're seeing the exact same thing. Nothing has changed about the outward reality. The world is still the exact same, but you feel differently about it. And that goes into what I was saying just earlier. Just now. Now, I can, having tried like more experimental treatments for mental health, I can really relate to this because, like, I've had moments where I've had real breakthroughs, and my depression has gone from basically like, a strong 9 or something, or a strong 8, all the way down to like 2 or 1, and it, and it literally looks like the world, like somebody turned on a flood lamp, like somebody finally put the backlight on my iPhone up. That is my life. It's honestly like mind-blowing how just your depression or your mental health affects your vision, like how you interpret the world. So yes, I like these lyrics. Approaching grey rhinoceros about focus. Is that depression? The rhinoceros of depression? Maybe if I think of depression as a rhinoceros, I won't resent it so much. I love rhinos, they're cute. Ooh. Fuck yeah, RM. Start spitting for me. Start spitting your depression lyrics all over my head. Oh yes, I love how much like they're talking about the stuff that I care about. This is what I love about BTS. I don't believe in a god uncertainty. Yeah. Words like colors are itchy. I don't know if that's an odd translation or if it's just a very kind of like surrealist thing. I mean, what I kind of get from that is that words aren't fixed. Colors aren't fixed. The way we interpret colors aren't fixed. Like think about people who have color blindness and they finally discover like aged 14 that the way they see the world is actually technically very different from other people, even just color wise. Like words, obviously, I say emotions are fixed, words aren't fixed, because words, if you think about it, is like a very limited, like maybe what's the English language, like 100,000, 200,000 ways of trying to describe an infinite amount of emotions. If you do that as a math, it doesn't go in, 200,000 into infinity, it doesn't do well math-wise, and neither did I, really. So I'm probably not the one to talk about it. My point being is that while emotions are fixed, words definitely aren't. Like that's why the human language is always evolving. And this broad grey area is comfortable. Here are hundreds of millions of expressions of grey. That's, again, absolutely fantastic. It goes into what I was saying earlier. Millions of people, if we take grey as just a way of saying like depressed or, feeling difficult, feeling blue, having mental health issues, there are hundreds of millions of ways of feeling that way. Ooh, I like this audio panning there. For all the dust here, let's have a toast. I read it at first as let's have toast. I think I need to have lunch, that's my problem. I just wanna be happy and it's only... How do they keep writing songs about me? I don't understand that, like, egotistically speaking. I just, like, maybe I just happen to have whatever BTS as a collective has, because, like, again, I don't know if they meant it literally this way. I feel like they probably did, because, they're that clever, but even circulation, depression goes as far as circulation. Like, this is because everything's regulated by the body. So if you're depressed, your body isn't regulating itself properly, and often there can be lots of tie-ins there, like like certain vitamin deficiencies or nutrient deficiencies can cause depression, and they can also be responsible for bad circulation. My circulation's horrible, sadly, because I'm stuck with this terrible American healthcare system. I'm between insurances right now, so I can't really get this checked out. But I need to get a nutrient test done so I can check my vitamin D and zinc and iron levels, because my hands keep going numb. Like this. It's all so linked. I can't believe they're singing about this. Since my hands aren't warm, I need you all the more. Yes. Like, I don't have a problem with cold hands when I'm hugging someone. This is insane. This is amazing. This is my favorite song off this album so far, and I'll be surprised if it's toppled. And if it is, I'll be happy to be wrong about that, because this song is already incredible. A nice, beautiful, soulful breakdown. Sounds a bit like a really lonesome and, heartfelt vacuum just in the background. Maybe they did sample a Hoover. Maybe they sampled a Dyson for this bit. I don't know, but I like it. That initial whine when a Hoover first boots up. It's great. Secretly grab and hold the words that floated through the air. Falling asleep at dawn. Yep. Mental health issues and sleeping issues and going to bed at ludicrous o'clock all go hand in hand. Also, having just got a new PlayStation and playing a new Spider-Man game. That made me go to bed at 5 last week. But mostly I've been doing quite well about going to bed early recently, which is good. Okay, well, I ended that on kind of an irreverent or relevant topic, but yeah, wow. Okay, that is my favorite song by far, so far. I wish, I want to speak too, confidently on this, because, firstly, I don't know much about BTS compared to many people, and also, as I'm thinking about it, even with my knowledge, I'm like, that's wrong, because I was about to say I wish BTS would have more music videos for songs like this, but they had, Black Swan, and that's very much in the same ballpark in my mind. But yeah, this song is incredible, and it these are songs that make me want to sincerely think about learning Korean, maybe, if I had the energy for it. I still I'm tempted to because I just love songs like this so much, and I only really get the experience out of them, the full experience in my mind, when I'm watching them on YouTube with the lyrics, so I can really, the lyrics is what I'm here for, and you obviously can't get that if you're just playing it back on iTunes or something and it's in Korean and your brain barely does English. So yeah, that is just a fantastic song. I so respect, and I will always wax lyrical and just completely stand the fact that they are out here delivering not just, important, like, subtle messages or important general messages about mental health. They are going deep dive into mental health. Like, they are literally being people's therapists on a global scale, which is incredible. Like, I want to do that, Like, that's why, obviously, global scale, very, very generous for my small but very lovely and sweet following. But that's why I love talking about mental health, because I just think it's so important, and I think it's probably one of the most important things we can do in our generation. And the fact that they have this massive audience and they're using it to deliver these messages is it's essential. It's incredible. Like, even if I thought their music was rubbish, or I didn't care about their singing, or I was like, I don't want to listen to this is in Korean, or whatever stupid reason, I would completely respect and support them just for the fact of the mental health the mental health thing alone. But the fact that they are in fact delivering it with like fantastic music videos, beautiful music, fantastic singing voices, very cool live performances and all that stuff, it's just the icing on top as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I need to stop standing them quite so hard before, I scare off even the most hardcore army. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I really hope you enjoyed my reaction, and more importantly, I really hope you got out of that song the same thing I did, because I think it's just uplifting, and it's just, like I said, it's essential. That's really the word I think for it. Like, this music needs to be out there, and I'm so glad it is. Please do subscribe if you want to see more of my reactions, and check out my Patreon. I have you can support me on there, and I have run BTS reactions to sweeten the deal. Don't forget to like and follow me with the tippity-tappity, the bell notification button thingy that YouTubers seem to love so much. Have a lovely day. Keep your suggestions coming. Keep your views and comments coming. Thank you so much for being here. Not just here in this video, but here on this earth. It means a lot to me and to everyone else. And just, have a lovely day. I'll see you very soon. Take care. And remember, if you like my reaction to Blue and Grey, then click the subscribe button to see more of what I say. Cheesy, cheesy, cheesy.